Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Good evening. Welcome to Leadership Monday. Yan. So we are getting ready. We are supposed to start at 8:30, but ayan. It's 8:22 now. Medyo na late po yung start natin from our usual 8 p.m. Dahil meron pong meeting ang inyong lolo. Okay, so we're back to our topic of personal leadership. Yan po. This is already part 3 of our uh, learning conversation on personal leadership. Nagsimula po tayo 3 weeks ago where we talk about the importance of personal leadership in success. Sabi natin, ang personal leadership ay yung ground zero ng all kinds of leadership dahil you cannot effectively lead others if you don't know how to lead yourself. Ayan. So say hi if you're a regular, please say hi. And if it's your first time to join us, welcome to today's session. Hi, Crispy Kangkong. Hello. So we're just waiting for more people to join us. Ano? So we will be together from 8:30 to 9:30. If you can endure me for that long, yan po yung ating oras. And then we'll try to answer some questions later. No? Kung meron po kayong mga katanungan, we normally talk about leadership, uh, people management, organization, career, personal mastery, yun po yung mga topics na, and HR, human resource, organizational development, those topics are all on the menu. No? Pero meron po I'll spend siguro around 40-50 minutes about on the topic that we are supposed to cover tonight. And then I will allot a few minutes so that we can answer some of your questions. Yung kaya ko lang sagutin. Hello, good day. Ayan. Medyo paos po. Pasensya na. Hindi na nawala yung paos. Ito na yung damaged na yung vocal cord, kakadaldal. So, ang topic po natin tonight is personal leadership. Ayan. Hindi ko po alam ang pagkakaiba ng diverticulitis, at diverticulosis. I don't know. I don't even know those words. So again, ang topic po natin ay leadership, personal leadership for tonight. We call our Monday session Leadership Monday. So, ang mga tanong po na kaya kong sagutin ay mga topics na may kinalaman or questions na may kinalaman sa ating paboritong topic, which is leadership, no? Organization, people management. Ayan. Alright, we're at 62 now. Meron po ba kayong book, Paano po maging leader? Ayan. I suggest that you subscribe to my channel at napakarami na po ng mga videos na aking na-shoot tungkol dyan. Marami pong klase ng leadership approaches. There are at least 4 that I've tackled in my videos. Ano po. So yung topic po natin tonight is about self, no? Self-leadership. We've been talking about self-awareness. Okay. We've been talking about self-awareness for 2 weeks now. And this is our third uh, opportunity to talk about it. Okay. Sige, simulan na po natin. By the way, ito po nakikita nyo na slide, yung Personal Leadership Toolkit is something that I give away to members of my exclusive group sa Facebook. Ano po? So meron akong Facebook page called Edwin C. Ebreo. And meron pong special group doon ng mga subscribers. They get a copy of the presentation, they get a copy of the recording, and a toolkit. No? Sir, nagkakandak po kayo ng leadership training sa mga companies. Opo, yan po talaga ang trabaho ko, ay mag-conduct ng mga leadership training sa iba't ibang mga kumpanya. And meron akong kaunting announcement that I also would like to share. No? Meron po tayong bagong libro, pero ito this time ay e-book. No? So, marami na po ang nakabili ng ating libro na, aba, bossing ka na pala. So, this is a printed book. No? Just, ito yun, ano, yung, aba, bossing ka na pala. It's worth 450 pesos. It's a book that I wrote for Filipino supervisors and managers. No? So, it's written in Taglish. At para lalo tayo makarelate at kinonsider po natin yung kultura nating mga Pinoy. And I'll tell you a little bit about how you can buy this. And then yung isa bago ay e-book, yung The Supervisor's Daily Execution. Let me just highlight it. Ayan. The Supervisor's Daily Execution Toolkit. So it's an e-book. It's only worth 200 pesos. No, PDF copy po siya. So ang idea ng Supervisor's Daily Execution Toolkit ay operational. No? So how do you operate as a supervisor on a day-to-day basis? So yan po yung idea. So may mga tools, mga templates na pwede kayong magamit. And if you want to buy these products, you can go to my online store. No? So scan nyo po itong QR code. You just, kaya ba? Ayan. So if you scan this, you should be, you should be able to buy these books. So meron tayong tanong dito. Sana po makapag-conduct ka ng Six Sigma for starters. Familiar po ako sa Six Sigma, nag-attend ako ng training, but it's not my expertise. Ano po, ang kaibigan ko na si Rex Tuozo, si Six Sigma guy, ang magaling dyan. Yan po yung hanapin nyo. Meron siyang white belt, yellow belt, green belt, at black belt Six Sigma training. What if I'm a supervisor but focusing more on strategy and running projects for IT? Okay. Eh, gano'n naman po talaga. Iba-ibang supervisors, iba-iba yung focus. Pero, all of these things should involve people. No? Kasi supervisor. Unless supervisory rank ka lang, wala kang hinahandle na tao. Isa pa pong announcement bago tayo tumuloy sa topic today. I've been getting a lot of requests for a public workshop, and I decided, dahil dun nga sa maraming nagtatanong ng public seminar, and the most convenient way to do that is to run it online. So ngayong June 30 po, ayan, June 30, ay magkakandak ako online. 8 hours po ito ng leadership in a multi-generational workplace. Magsesend po ako sa aking mga followers ng information and invitation to this program. So, kung interesado kayo, block the date. So kung kayo ay Gen X Gen X manager, millennial, Gen Zs, ayan, the manager, feel free to join me on June 30. I'll tell you the details of this real soon. On July 8, ayan, ang topic po natin ay building and sustaining winning teams. So, kung ikaw ay TL, no, team leader, supervisor, manager, you're trying to build a high-performing team, sa July 8 po yan, online, we will be running the workshop. On July 21 ay magra-run po tayo ng one-day workshop base doon sa bago kong e-book, no? The Supervisor's Daily Leadership Execution Toolkit Workshop. On August 4, kung kayo po ay supervisor or manager and you are involved in making hiring decisions, itong training na ito ay para sa inyo. No? Hiring managers, interviewing skills, training. And last, so far, hanggang August, is yung creative problem solving and decision making. Yan po naman yung topic natin for August 18. Ano po? Creative problem solving and decision making. Online po ito lahat, no? So sa Zoom, but it's going to be interactive. Okay, marami po tayong ginagamit na technique to make sure that our online workshop is going to be interactive. Lahat po ng ito ay merong kasamang, pag umattend kayo, may kasamang yung presentation at saka toolkit. Lahat po ito ay may toolkit. Ayan. Ganun po eh. Yun po talaga. Ang schedule. Marami naman, ano? Pwede kayong pumili ng ibang mga topic. So, yan po yung aking, Yan po yung aking, hayaan nyo sa susunod, pagka nagkaroon tayo ng pagkakataon, ay magkakaroon ulit tayo. So, we will continue to do this to serve po yung ating mga followers na nagtatanong ng public seminar or ng webinar. Alright, so babalikan na po natin yung ating topic. So medyo na-stuck po tayo dito, naubusan tayo kasi lagi ng oras. Nandito pa rin tayo sa clarify your self-awareness. Okay? And hopefully, bago matapos ang ating session ngayon, we can talk about strengthening your self-management. Yun po yung topic natin ngayong gabi. And then later on, kung may mga tanong pa, as long as we stick to the topic, we will continue to do that. So last week, kasi wala ako last week, umattend ako ng convention. Hindi ako nakapag-live last week. Last week, the last week, we talked about action tendencies. No? As part of self-awareness, sinasabi natin na dapat ang isang leader ay aware sa kanyang emotion. Kasi kung minsan, nakakapagsalita tayo ng mga bagay na pinagsisisihan natin simply because we are not aware of our action tendencies. Ano ba yung action tendencies? Our action tendencies are the common ways by which we respond to emotion. So, dalawang bagay po ang dapat natin bantayan yan. Ano yung nagtitrigger ng emotion at ano yung typical na reaction. For example, sa fear, ano ba yung madalas na kinatatakutan mo? Di ba? What do you do when you're afraid? Anong ginagawa mo? So, you need to be aware of that. So, merong action tendencies for all the emotions, joy or happiness, shame, ano yung kinahihiya mo, and what do you do when you're ashamed, when you're sad, what do you do, when you're disgusted, when what are you proud of, and when you're being proud, how do you react? Okay? When you're contented. So marami-rami yan, ano? Hindi ko na iisa-isahin. So I'll share these slides to the people who follow me on Facebook. Ano po? Ngayon, anong gagawin mo dito sa mga action tendencies na ito? Okay. So, what you do is you need to recognize, no? Ano ba yung nararamdaman ko sa oras na ito? Lalo na if you are feeling a strong emotion, ano? Or disruptive emotion. Halimbawa, galit ka, or takot ka, or frustrated ka. Okay? What are you, what do you tend to do? Ano yung urge? Diba? Sumisimangot ka ba? Tumataas mo yung ah, tumataas ba yung boses mo, no? Nanununtok ka ba? Ano yung urge, 'di ba? And then before you act, and this is where self-regulation comes in. Oh, balik po. Um, will acting on this urge help me reach my goals? No? So, kumbaga, bago ka umaksyon, isipin mo muna ano yung magiging implication ng iyong action. And then you execute based on your choice. Hindi dahil dun sa silakbo ng iyong damdamin. Ano? So choose to either follow the urge if it's helpful or use an opposite action. Halimbawa, nagiinit ang ulo mo at gusto mo sumigaw. And then you realize, pagka sinigawan kong taon mo to, what will be the effect? Will it have a positive effect or negative effect? So choose the opposite action if it's not helpful. So anong key learning point dito? Managing action tendencies involves emotional regulation, the process of recognizing, understanding, and choosing how to respond to your feelings instead of reacting automatically. Because action tendencies are just preparations for action and not the action themselves. So you can intervene before an urge becomes a behavior. So dapat kaya mong kontrolin ang iyong sarili, especially when you are experiencing a negative emotion. Okay? Yung susunod po nating topic is about having a goal, no? Or a vision. Sabi ni Stephen Covey, let me just highlight this. Sabi niya, to begin with the end in mind means to start with a clear understanding of your destination. It means to know where you're going so that you better understand where you are now so that the steps you take are always in the right direction. So essentially, ang sinasabi ni Stephen Covey, yung author ng Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, ay dapat intentional ka. Oo, hindi kayong palutang-lutang lang, no? Hindi kayong walang direction. You have to have a sense of direction. There's a framework that I use, ano, and I'd like to share that framework with you. But before we do, I just want to highlight the value of vision. Sabi ni Peter Senge, yung author ng The Fifth Discipline, tayo daw, yung tao, have to deal with two tensions. Yung isang tension is your vision. So, are you being pulled by your vision? Hinihila ka ba ng yung vision? At yung isang opposing tension is belief in powerlessness. Belief in powerlessness or unworthiness. So, ang tanong, anong humihila sa'yo? Yung paatras o yung paabante? So, you can just imagine what happens if you don't have a sense of direction. Diba? You're stuck. because you're stuck with belief in powerlessness or unworthiness. So it helps to have a sense of direction. So I'm going to spend the next few minutes to encourage you after this live session to think about a desired direction. Ano? Ito yung simpleng framework na napaka-powerful that I would like to share. No? It's called the Be, Do, Have framework. Okay? So, yung B represents the identity or mindset that you want to embrace as a person. So, it is the starting point. No? We just highlight that for your appreciation. It focuses on who you need to become to reach your goal, your belief, character, and mental state. Okay? So, anong klaseng tao ba ang gusto kong maging ako? Yun yung being, no? And then, you have the do. Ano yung do? Action and behavior. The actions that follow from your state of being, these are consistent, aligned behaviors that stem from your identity rather than random tasks. Okay? And then, the have is what do you want to acquire? Okay? Outcome and result. What do you want to achieve? The end results or what you achieve is the natural consequence of having adopted the correct being, state, and doing the associated actions. Okay? Example, B. Okay? Identity and mindset. Gusto kong maging isang mahusay na leader, isang leader na empowering, isang leader na tumutulong na maging maunlad at successful yung aking mga followers. That's your being. That's your be. So what do you do? The actions that follow from your state of being. Para ma-achieve ko yung being na yon, mag-aaralan ko mabuti kung paano maging mahusay na leader. Makikinig ako sa aking mga team members at titignan ko kung ano yung kanilang pangangailangan at bibigyan ko sila ng suporta na ayon sa abot ng aking makakaya bilang isang leader. So that's what I'm going to do. And what is my have? I want to have an organization where yung success ng organization is tied, nakatali, nakalink doon sa success ng mga tao doon sa organization na yon. So I want an organization, hindi yung kagaya ng ibang kumpanya. Successful yung kumpanya, yung tao hindi. So ako, personally, gusto ko ng successful na kumpanya where the people working in that organization are successful in their lives. They're happy, they're financially well off, right? So, I don't want to have a company na maunlad yung kumpanya pero naghihikahos yung mga tao. I want us to grow together. That's my be, do, have. Ikaw, ano ang iyong be, do, have? No? So, here are a few ideas that you might want to consider. Okay? I'll give you some examples here. Career and leadership. Be an empathetic, and visionary leader. So what you need to do, listen actively to my team, provide clear feedback. Okay? And what do you want to have? A high-performing, loyal team. Very similar, no? Doon sa sinabi ko kanina, pero ako talaga ang aking hub. Ito po yung pangarap ko sa buhay. Successful yung company ko, ExecuServe. Lahat ng nandoon sa ExecuServe na nagtatrabaho ay successful and happy and financially well off. We're still in the process. Hindi pa namin na-achieve yun. We're still working together to achieve that. It can be health, no? I'm a person who respects and fuels their body, for example, no? So what do you do if you're that person? So importante talaga magsimula sa identity. Sino ba ako? Anong klaseng tao ba ako? And because I'm that kind of person, this is what I'm going to do, and this is what I'm going to have. All right? Personal finance. Pwede rin pala yun, ano? Personal finance. Pag binaligtad natin yan, kung gusto nyo nang begin with the end in mind, I want to have financial freedom and the ability to give back to the community. That's the have. The do is, syempre, kailangan ko ng savings, kailangan kong i-automate yung savings ko, I need to track my expenses, I need to educate myself on market trends. Para magawa ko yan, anong klaseng tao dapat ako? What kind of values should I embrace? So I want to be a disciplined and savvy investor. So pag tinanong, sino si Ed? Si Ed. He's a disciplined and savvy investor. Pero ang pinaka maganda na paraan ng pagtingin dito ay nagsisimula dun sa anong klaseng tao ba gusto ko maging. No? So ayan. So you can look at relationship, you can look at skills, depende po sa inyong priority area. Ano bang priority mo? Alright? Ayan. Okay. So, I'm going to make this downloadable from my Facebook page kasi medyo mahirap siyang gawin sa TikTok. Medyo masela si TikTok eh. But sa Facebook page po, I will make this available if you want. So, gusto nyo gumawa ng inyong Be, Do, Have canvas, I'm going to share this with you. Just go and follow my page on Facebook, Edwin C. Ebreo. Okay. So, sa wakas, natapos yung clarify your self-awareness at handa na po tayong simulan naman yung ating journey dito naman sa strengthening self-management. Okay? And in this module, we're going to learn how to manage your mindset and your internal conversation, yung pakikipag-usap ninyo sa sarili. Practice reframing negative self-talk. Ano ba yung mga pangit na bagay na sinasabi natin sa sarili natin? Yung mga unhelpful beliefs natin. How do we deal with those? And discover strategies to manage emotional triggers and stay focused on goals. Di ba? Meron niyang kasabihan, di ba, na ang pikon, talo. Di ba? Ganun yun sa buhay eh. Kapag ka masyado kang madaling maapektuhan emotionally, nagkakaroon ng mga disruptive thoughts eh, no? Na siyang pumipigil sa'yo para mag-grow as an individual. So let's go into that. Okay? At the beginning of this series, I presented yung yung rider at yung elephant. Yung rider at saka yung elephant represents our mind, Yung rider, so this is the rider and elephant metaphor. Yung rider is our rational mind. Okay? It's the part of our brain that functions as the logical, analytical, critical, objective thinker. Yung elephant represents your emotional mind. So ang tanong dito sa slides na ito ay, who is in control? Is it your mind, your logical, objective, critical thinking self, or your emotional self? By the way, I've read in one of the studies na yung utak natin, yung limbic system, is responsible for our emotion and also for our decision, no? So, siya, similar yung function ng emotion at saka decision. That's why, when we are emotional, we make decisions that we often regret. So, anong agenda natin ngayong gabi? How do we strengthen, ito yung dapat masagot natin, how do we strengthen our rational mind? That's our aim for tonight. Okay. So, self-leadership, right? Ano yung 5 competencies na kailangan nating i-develop or na-develop when we learn self-regulation? So, merong 5 self-regulation competencies. Let me zoom in on each of them. Yung una, okay, hala, nabigyan ng alert yung aking stick figure images. I don't know why. Okay, anyway, yung unang competency ay self-control. When you're good at self-regulation, you should be able to manage disruptive emotions and impulses, stay calm, and think before acting. Di ba ang ganda nun, ano? Kung kaya mong kontrolin yung sarili mo, manage your disruptive behavior, imagine kung anong pwede mo ma-accomplish with that. Yung susunod na competency ay trustworthiness. Trustworthiness. Ano yung trustworthiness? Okay, ito yung mga taong may honesty at may integrity. Hindi sila gumagawa ng mga bagay na labag sa kanilang integridad, moralidad, at batas, no? Legalidad, okay? And when they make mistakes, they admit their mistakes and do what is right, di ba? So yan. May nagtatanong sa akin dito tungkol sa mga senador. Ito po yung kailangan ng ating mga senador, trustworthiness. Okay? Ito yung trust na hindi galing sa budol, no? Hindi galing sa pambobola at fake news. It is act of honesty and integrity. Yung susunod ay conscientiousness. Okay? Galing sa salitang konsyensya, no? Conscientiousness. It's about taking responsibility for your performance, follows through, and works carefully. People who have high consciousness don't have to be supervised because they choose to do the right thing. Okay? They work hard, they are responsible. Okay. At ang susunod naman po ay adaptability. Okay? So, people who have high adaptability are able to stay flexible when circumstances change, adjust well to new demands. Hindi po ako masyado nagsasalita tungkol sa mga politiko dito. In my personal Facebook account, yun, doon ako nagsasalita. Pero papatulan ko po itong isa na to. Paano po malalaman kung sino ang mabuti? Si ganitong politiko o si ganitong politiko? Meron po tayong kasabihan, action speaks louder than words. Tignan nyo po yung accomplishment, achievement, hindi yung kung ano lang yung sinasabi. Oo, diyan tayo nabubudol. Tingnan nyo kung anong nagawa, anong accomplishment, anong kabutihan ang nagawa nila. Baka mamaya nabubudol lang tayo ng ng kasamaan laban sa kadiliman. Okay? Look for achievements, look for accomplishments of the leaders you're choosing. Masyado pong maraming fake news. Lumalangoy tayo sa fake news. So, maging critical thinkers po tayo. So, that's it for that. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. And then, we're going to talk about innovativeness. No? So, innovativeness is a competency that people with high sense of self-regulation, they're open to new ideas and better ways of doing things, tries thoughtful improvements. So, kung mataas ang iyong self-regulation, ito yung dapat na nade-develop mo. Self-control, trustworthiness, conscientiousness, adaptability, and innovativeness. All right? So, how do you develop that self-regulation? Sabi ni Stephen Covey again, no? Let me zoom in on it again, ano? Each of us tends to think we see things as they are. Okay? That we are objective. Nako, napakahirap maging objective. But this is not the case. We see the world not as it is, but as we are, or as we are conditioned to see it. Now, this is very important. Let me just emphasize on this. Marami pong mga tao na ima-manipulate ka kasi may pakinabang sila sa iyo. Okay? So you see the world through their manipulation, ano? Yung conditioning nila. So importante na tayong mga tao ay meron tayong tinatawag na sense of agency, no? Sariling pananaw, sariling pagsusuri sa mga bagay-bagay. Yan yung sinasabi ni Stephen Covey. So, having said that, importante na tinitingnan natin yung quality of our thinking through our beliefs, no? So si Carol Dweck wrote a book about mindset, and she presented yung concept ng growth mindset at saka fixed mindset. Ano ba ang pagkakaiba ayon sa kanya? Ano ba ang pagkakaiba ng mga taong successful, people who continue to grow, at saka yung mga taong stuck, okay, at hindi umaangat ang kanilang estado o kalagayan sa buhay? And this is according to her writing. Sabi niya, merong mga taong naka-focus yung kanilang utak sa paghusay. Okay, ang tawag natin doon ay growth mindset. Let me highlight that. So dalawang bagay ang importante, no? People with growth mindset believe that skills are built and you can learn and grow. Naniniwala sila na kaya nilang mag-improve. People with growth mindset. Naniniwala ako sa kakayahan ko na humusay. Okay, that's the belief. Dahil naniniwala ako sa belief na yon, nakafocus ako doon sa pagpapahusay sa aking sarili. So that's people with growth mindset. Ano yung opposite nun? People with fixed mindset. Okay? Skills are inborn, and you can't really grow. Parang ang swerte mo naman, ang galing mo dyan, di ba? Ako hindi ako marunong. So, dahil naniniwala silang wala na silang ihuhusay doon sa kung nasan sila ngayon, so their focus is to avoid being embarrassed, no? Parang yung sa kantahan, ay, wag mo akong pakantahin, pangit ang boses ko. Di ba? So, sometimes totoo naman, di ba? Pero, yun yung idea. Wag mo akong, ayoko mag-leader kasi hindi ako leader. Ayoko magsalita sa harapan at hindi ako mahusay magsalita. Okay? Ay, wag mo akong bigyan ng trabaho na yan, hindi ko yan kayang gawin. Okay? Fixed mindset yun. No? So, ayun yung dalawa, no? Yung focus at saka yung belief. For people with high growth mindset, yung kanilang belief and focus leads to their belief and focus when it comes to effort. Naniniwala sila na yung effort is useful and it leads to growth, no? So kung huhusayan ko, kung magpa-practice ako, sintonado ako, kung magpa-practice ako, magpapaturo ako, baka hindi na ako maging sintonado, di ba? So efforts. And when there are opportunities, okay, for me to try, no, susubukan ko kumanta sa mga videoke. Embrace challenges, persevere, see opportunity. They look at mistakes as opportunity to learn. No? So, uses mistake to learn. And then, feedback. They like feedback. They appreciate feedback and use it. So, people with fixed mindset don't like it. Oo. Tingin nila sa effort ay useless. Hindi naman ako gagaling kahit subukan mo pa. Kaya nauso yung salitang ano, no, yung weaponized incompetence. Huwag mo na ako isali dyan, hindi ako magaling dyan. Hindi ko yan kayang gawin. So, effort feels unnecessary. They avoid challenges, they back down, and they see challenges as threat. And, talo na pagka iniisip mo, ako magkakamali lang ako eh. Huwag na, no? So, they hate mistakes, gets discouraged, and avoid them. And then finally, ayaw sa feedback, they get defensive kasi pakiramdam nila, napapahiya sila. So, yan yung sitwasyon, ano, ng mga taong may growth at fixed mindset. Ngayon, hindi lahat ng pagkakataon may growth mindset ka at hindi rin lahat ng pagkakataon may fixed mindset ka. I'll give you an example. May growth mindset ako sa communication, may growth mindset ako sa leadership. I take every opportunity to practice leadership. Saan ako may fixed mindset? May fixed mindset ako sa math. Ang bobo ko po sa math. Ang hina ako sa math. So, yun yung nangyayari, no? So, iniiwasan ko yung mga trabaho na merong math. Kayo po ba, ano yung parte nung ginagawa ninyo ang meron kayong growth mindset at ano yung meron kayong fixed mindset? So, try to recognize those. So, yun yung tanong pala. Which skills are you naturally and continually growing? And then, ano naman yung skills na kailangan ninyo para ma-achieve ninyo yung goal nyo sa buhay, pero medyo natatakot kayong i-develop yung skill na yon. I think it's important to recognize that. Ano po? Ayan. So, kung titingnan mo, bakit nangyayari yan? Yung growth mindset, yung fixed mindset, may kinalaman ito sa ating internal conversations. Kinakausap nyo po ba yung inyong sarili? Di ba? So, internal conversations. So, here's an example, no? Pagka pinagalitan ka ng boss mo, no? Sinabi, oh, may mali na naman sa report mo. Siyempre, sorry ka, di ba? Anong sinasabi mo sa sarili mo in that situation? Ito ba? Ang palpak ko talaga. Or ito ba? Hindi ko naman yan kasalanan eh. Di ba? Kasalanan mo yan, malabo yung instruction mo. Kala mo kung sino to. No? So, importante yung kung ano yung sinasabi mo in a given moment. So, what is an alternative? You have to ask yourself, no? Watch your internal conversation. One way of doing that is, totoo ba? Yung sinabi ng boss ko na lagi akong palpak. Ano yung tamang paraan ng pag-approach dito sa problema na to? What is the best way of handling this situation or dealing with this situation? So my recommendation is, especially if you are in a growth mindset, sabi natin kanina, sa growth mindset, yung mga challenges, yung mga failures, yung mga mistake, ay feedback, ay tinitake natin constructively. No? So, I made a mistake this time. I can review what went wrong and try again with a new approach. Okay? Ako, sir, gusto ko ma-change yung pagiging reactive. Gusto ko ma-develop ko is being proactive. Yan, maganda yan. It starts there. Pwede mo sabihin, okay, ako si Chris and yung kanina, kung inabutan mo to, be, do, have. Ako si Chris, ako ay isang proactive na tao. Okay? Dahil proactive akong tao, ito yung mga bagay na gusto kong gawin, ito yung mga bagay na gusto kong matutunan, right? At ang aking have is, I want to be able to achieve my goals and benefit, no, from the outcome of my goal achievement. So, importante na yung conversation mo sa sarili mo, sinasabi mo yung gusto mo mangyari. Okay? Don't get stuck doon sa napaka-reactive ko talaga. Di ba? Palitan mo yung mental image mo. Sabihin mo, simula ngayon, proactive na ako. Ilista mo yung lahat ng ginagawa ng isang proactive na tao and you start doing that and you will be able to achieve it. It starts with telling yourself who you are. Okay? So, paano natin gagawin yun? We need to alter yung faulty interpretations natin sa sarili natin, sa paligid natin. No? So, you control self-talk as it occurs in the immediate situation. Pakinggan nyo yung sarili ninyo. No? Altering unreasonable beliefs out of which negative self-talk arises. No? So, I'm going to give an example. And nakita ko lang to sa internet. Ano? Siguro na-experience nyo to sa traffic, yung mga mahilig manggulang sa traffic, mahilig maningit. So, galit na galit ka, no? Inis na inis ka. And dito, sa bayan natin, no, dito sa Pilipinas, alam naman natin na mayroong mga tao sa sobrang galit ay nagdidilim yung kanilang paningin, ano? At nakakagawa sila at nakakapagsalita sila ng mga bagay na pagsisisihan nila. Okay? So sabi ni Martin Seligman, we need to learn how to manage that. Kasi yung mga tao nagdidilim ang paningin, ang tawag doon ay amygdala hijack. Amygdala hijack. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng amygdala hijack? Let me just highlight this. Okay? This is going to be our last slide for tonight. Ano? And I will spend the rest of hanggang 9:30 trying to answer questions if you have questions on the topic of personal leadership and leadership in general. Okay? So, nangyayari yung amygdala hijack kapag ka merong trigger, no? Something feels threatening, unfair, or painful. Okay? So, yan yung nagsisimula. Ngayon, yung amygdala, which is part of our brain, detects the danger and the emotional alarm system reacts fast. So, halimbawa, meron akong kilala, kaibigan ng anak ko, ay hinold up doon sa Makati. No? Sa sobrang trigger niya, pinagpupokpok niya ng payong yung ano, no? Yung hold upper. Okay, hanggang sa makatakas siya. So, the body goes on alert. Ayan. And your thinking narrows and then impulsive reaction. So, ano nangyayari? We might do things that we regret later. The action may create damage or regret. Kasi meron tayong ginawa or sinabi na hindi ka aya-aya. Sorry, sagutin ko lang po to. Hi sir, what time lagi ang live nyo po? 8 to 9 po. Except tonight, nagsimula tayo ng 8:30. So we're going to finish up at 9:30. So why is it called the amygdala hijack? The amygdala reacts so quickly that it can temporarily overpower the thinking brain. Emotion is not bad, but when it takes over completely, decisions and actions become less wise. Yun yung nangyayari. So how do you interrupt the amygdala hijack? Okay? Step 1, pause. Kung kaya nyo yan, that's a very important superpower, the ability to pause. Stop what you're doing, create a moment of space. Diba? So imagine natin, nagdadrive ka, may nag-cut sa'yo, minura ka pa. No? At nakakainis talaga yung ginawa niya. Nakaka-degrade ng iyong pagkatao. Okay? So kung halimbawa ay hahabulin mo siya at aawayin mo, you feel you're justified. Pause. Okay? Stop what you're doing, create a moment of space. Breathe, okay? Take a slow, deep breath and calm your body. And then name the emotion. What am I feeling right now? Am I angry, afraid, embarrassed, or hurt? Identify what you're feeling. And then you engage your rational brain. Ito, prefrontal cortex. Okay? Ano talaga nangyayari dito? What are my choices? Hahabulin ko ba yon? Makikipag-away ba ako? Okay? Pag ginawa ko yon, ano mangyayari? Masasayang ang oras ko? Masisira ang araw ko? Pag masamang tao yung hinabol ko, baka may mangyari pang masama sa akin. At kapag hindi ko napigilan yung sarili ko, may mangyari sa kanya, ano mangyayari sa akin, ano mangyayari sa pamilya ko. So reflect, get perspective, consider your options. Okay? And then choose a better response. Respond with intention, calmly, clearly, and constructively. Yan po yung how you handle emotionally triggering situation. So self-awareness creates space. Self-management helps you respond instead of react. Okay? So, marami pa po akong slides on this topic that I will continue to talk about next week, no? Sa ating Leadership Monday. So, I'd like to spend the next 15 minutes as usual to answer questions on the topic of personal leadership, supervision, and management. Tingnan natin kung meron ba ditong mga tanong. Walang masyadong tanong tonight, ano? Except yung mga political questions na ayaw ko nang sagutin. Meron po ba kayong mga tanong na gusto nyong i-share sa akin? Ano po normally ang mga dinidiscuss nyo sa live ninyo? Career, leadership, workplace relationship, management, okay? Management skills. Yun po yung mga topic na dinidiscuss ko sa aking live. And then, if you have time to subscribe, you will see na yung mga live sessions po natin, ginagawa ko siyang clip, yung mga importanteng topics ay nilalagay natin para pakinabangan din ng mga hindi naka-attend ng ating live session. May tanong po tayo? Meron tayong mga katanungan on leadership and management. Ano po ang masasabi nyo sa micromanaging tapos namamahiya ng empleyado? Okay. Kapag ka ang supervisor o manager ay micromanaging at namamahiya ng empleyado, ay malamang dalawang bagay, no? Either underdeveloped sila, meaning hindi sila nabigyan ng karampatang training para gawin na maayos yung kanilang leadership responsibility, kulang sila sa training, or hindi sila dapat pinromote. Hindi sila karapat-dapat doon sa posisyon na yun. Kasi, okay, micromanaging, merong mga sitwasyon where micromanaging is not bad. Kailan? Pag bago yung tao. Pag kailangan ng tao ng structure, ng instruction, hindi niya alam gawin yung trabaho. But over time, the leader, the supervisor, or the manager should be able to help the employee stand on their own. Diba? So, dapat alam mo kung kailan pwede mo nang hayaan yung tao. No? Yun yung, pagka matagal ka na, micromanager ka pa rin, ibig sabihin nun, hindi na di-develop yung management skill or leadership skill mo. Nag-a-accept po ba kayo ng corporate in-house training? Opo, i-message nyo lang po ako and my staff can send you proposals. No? I'm the CEO of Execuserve Corporation. It's a 19-year-old HR and organization development consulting company. So we conduct a lot of training. We also help companies with their HR and organizational development strategies. No? Sir, as a leader, how to deal with difficult team member? Ayoko kasi maging selective lang. Simple rule of thumb, praise in public, correct in private. Okay, walang hindi nakukuha ang maayos na usapan. Okay, let me just qualify what I mean when I say maayos na usapan. Dapat matuto rin tayo ng maayos na pakikipag-usap. Kasi kung bastos yung pakikipag-usap mo or nakakasakit ng damdamin yung mga sinasabi mong salita, hindi ka rin makakatulong doon sa empleyado eh. So, one of the things that I also train managers how to do is how to effectively communicate in a way that helps rather than hurt. So, yun po yung gusto kong bantayan ninyo. Kumusta ba kayo makipag-usap? Pag nakipag-usap po ba kayo sa tao, are you able to actually help them or are you just hurting them? So, something to think about. Paano mabago ang mindset ng staff mo na maging proactive? Nako, malaking trabaho yun, ano? Yung kasing pagiging proactive ay habit, no? So, you can train people, yun yung isa, train them on proactiveness. And then, second, demand proactiveness. Ibig sabihin nun, pagka-reactive sila, pag hindi sila nagte-take ng initiative, you call out the behavior. No? What leadership book you can recommend? Medyo magpa-plug lang po ako ha. Meron ako sinulat na libro na para sa mga Filipino leaders and supervisors. Ang title ay Aba, Bossing Ka Na Pala. Pag pumunta po kayo doon sa aking profile, sa aking bio, meron pong link sa order form. No? Aba, Bossing Ka Na Pala. Taglish po ang pagkakasulat nito. And ang intention is really to guide Filipino managers and supervisors. Kasi maraming mga libro dyan na makikita kayo na Western yung context. Pero medyo kakaiba yung kultura nating mga Pinoy eh. Mahiyain, relationship-oriented, conflict-averse. Okay? So, yung communication style natin ay iba. So, that's why I wrote this book na hopefully makatulong. Yung pong mga nakabasa na nitong libro na to ay binabalikan nila kung sabi nila malaki daw na itulong sa kanila, and if you're interested, go to my bio for the link. Ano po. Ayan. Okay. May magagawa po ba ang isang staff para mabago ang leadership style ng manager? Ayan. Meron din akong video na na pinroduce on this topic ng leadership style ng manager. Merong tatlong options. So, hindi ako magsasawang ulitin itong tatlong options na to. Yung unang option, we're trying to answer this question. May magagawa po ba ang isang staff para mabago ang leadership style ng manager? Tatlong options. Una, kausapin. Okay? Kasi kung hindi mo kakausapin, paano mababago? Kausapin mo, mag-share ka ng concern, provide respectful feedback. Hopefully, magbago siya. Okay? Pero dahil yung behavior ng ibang tao ay hindi natin kontrolado, we can only influence it. Pag hindi sila nagbago, you have another option. Ano yung other option? Tiisin. Ignore the negative style of the leader. Okay? At yung pangatlo, ayaw makinig sa'yo, hindi mo kaya tiisin, maghanap ka ng ibang boss. Maghanap ka ng ibang trabaho. Maybe that boss is not for you. Okay? So, ayun yung sagot. Paano po hindi madaan sa communication? Either tiisin mo or iwan mo. Okay? Those are the three options. Okay? Ano po ang tip ninyo sa pagpili ng next in-line leader? po for supervisor position. Okay. So, tama po ba yung intindi ko na yung sinasabi ninyo kapag magpo-promote ba? Like kapag magpo-promote ka or naghahanap ka ng trabaho at gusto mong makakita ng mahusay na leader. Okay. Next in line leader, so I imagine na no, magpo-promote ka. Una, so may dalawa kasi tinitingnan sa pagpo-promote ng tao. Okay. Yung isa ay performance, yung pangalawa ay potential. Okay? Let's consider this, no? Ang isang mahusay na barbero, mahusay, magaling maggupit, no? Mahusay na barbero will not automatically become a good barbershop supervisor. Hindi, no? So, yun yung una, performance. At least average. Hindi kailangang super galing. Merong mga tao super galing pero hindi promotable dahil wala sila ng leadership potential. So, kailangan mo ng isang tao na kung magaling, great. Kung hindi sobrang galing, at least acceptable ang performance. Sa potential, anong titingnan mo? Una, maayos bang makisama? Maayos makipagkapwa-tao? Pinakikinggan ba siya ng mga kasama niya? Pinagtitiwalaan ba siya? Is this person trusted? Oo. Influential ba itong tao na to? At higit sa lahat, gusto ba niyang maging leader? Oo. So, yun yung hahanapin ko. Meron pang isa. Madali bang matuto? Kasi kung hindi madali matuto, ang tagal bago mag-improve eh. Di ba? So, ulitin ko potential. Mahusay makipag-usap, pinagtitiwalaan ng mga kasama niya sa trabaho, nire-respeto, at kaya niya mang-impluensya ng mga tao. And then finally, learning agility. Madaling matuto. So, yun yung 5 bagay na titingnan ko outside of performance. Diba? Ibig sabihin, performance kasi supervisor to, dapat alam niya yung trabaho. Diba? Hindi yung magmumukha siyang tanga doon sa mga kasama niya sa trabaho dahil hindi niya alam yung trabaho. So those are the things that I would consider. Meron pa po ba tayong mga katanungan? Malapit na po tayong magsara ng tindahan. Paano po maging influential na tao? Okay. Learn about influence. May 3 bagay na kailangan mong i-develop para maging influential ka. Okay? Yung una, so si Aristotle ang nagsabi nito. Okay? So, ethos, pathos, and logos. Okay. Ethos, pathos, and logos. Yung ethos is yung pakikinggan ka, may impluwensyahan mo yung mga tao kung meron kang kredibilidad. Okay? So in short, yung word mo at saka yung action mo ay consistent sa isa't isa. Hindi ka nambubudol ng kapwa mo. Hindi ka nambobola. Credibility ang tawag doon. Ethos and pathos. Yung pangalawa ay, ethos yun. Yung pangalawa ay pathos. Ano naman yung pathos? Yun yung emotional appeal. Meron kang empathy. Naiintindihan mo kung saan nanggagaling yung mga kausap mo. So pag kinakausap mo sila, nakaka-relate ka sa kanila, nakaka-relate sila sa'yo. Yung pangatlo ay logos, which is logic. Okay? Ibig sabihin, yung mga sinasabi mo, pinag-iisipan mo. Meron kang basihan sa sinasabi mo. Yung iba, ang iniisip, influential ka pag magaling kang mambola. Hindi po, ang tawag po doon ay manipulative. Oo. Iba yung influential, iba yung manipulative. Yung manipulative, mambubudol po yun. So, if you want to be a credible leader, Be an influential leader, somebody with credibility, with empathy, and with logic. Yan po yung aking recommended. Thank you, Coach Ed, for making this time for us. Thank you for being here with me on a Monday night. Ano po? And mukhang medyo matumal tayo ngayon. Usually, hundreds yung nanonood sa atin, 1,000 ngayon. 37 lang. I don't know if it's the topic or my mood. Medyo konti tayo ngayon. So next Monday babawi tayo. Ang tama po nating oras ay 8 to 9. Ano po, 8 to 9 yung ating tamang oras. So that ends our live tonight. Maraming salamat po. And see you again next week. Magandang gabi po. Maraming salamat. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.